been seeing squirrels a lot recently? Maybe 3 times or more? Just feel drawn to them? That's no coincidence. When squirrel keeps showing up repeatedly in your life, whether it's on the garden fence, a cartoon or a cuddly toy in the shop, it's time to listen to the squirrel's message. Because the squirrel doesn't just represent activity, it's more about the direction you're taking in your own life. Where is your energy going? What are you holding on to? And whether what you're building is actually supporting you. And if you're not careful, you could be busy with all the wrong things. At first glance, the squirrel doesn't seem like a deeply symbolic animal. It's quick, restless, always moving. But across older traditions, especially in Northern European and Norse mythology, the squirrel carried a much more meaningful role. It wasn't just active, it was purposeful. A gatherer, a messenger, a creature constantly interacting with its environment, storing, moving and transferring energy. Stay with me while we uncover 4 key messages Squirrel has for you and why it's a symbol of how we use our own time, focus and attention. Message 1. What are you feeding your energy into? Squirrels are always busy, but their activity isn't random. Like all wild animals, it's driven by survival. Every moment has a purpose. Actions contribute to something. So when the squirrel appears as a sign for you, it asks a simple but important question. Are you busy? Or are you building something meaningful? In modern life, it's easy to confuse the two. Constant tasks, notifications, distractions. You can be active all day and still not move forward. You can also be stuck in survival mode through old trauma wounds. The squirrel reminds you energy is valuable and where you place it matters. If you find yourself always trying to stay busy, procrastinating on tasks that could really wait, then it's time to reevaluate why you spend your time and energy in this way. Squirrel is asking you to delve a little deeper into old wounds that may need to be worked through. Message 2. Preparation is power. One of the most recognised behaviours of squirrels is gathering and storing food, while the supply is bountiful, ready for leaner times. In many European traditions, this made the squirrel a symbol of foresight and preparation. It understands that what you do now supports you later. If this is your sign, it might be asking you to think ahead, to put something in place for your future, or stop relying on things staying the same. It might show up as financial preparation, planning instead of reacting, or investing time into something that doesn't necessarily pay off immediately. The squirrel doesn't wait until it's too late, it prepares while it can. So ask yourself, where in your life do you need to do a little work so that your future self will thank you? If you're enjoying today's animal sign, make sure you like this video and explore the full animal sign playlist here on Optimistic Orbit, because each animal carries a different message and understanding them can completely change how you move forward. Message 3. Be careful what you carry. In Norse mythology, there is a squirrel named Ratatoskr. It lives on the great world tree Yggdrasil, running up and down its trunk, carrying messages between an eagle at the top and a dragon called Nidhogg at the roots. But this is where we need to look closer. Ratatoskr doesn't just pass the messages. It is said to carry words that create deliberate tension between them. The squirrel doesn't just move information, it actually influences the outcomes. And that's where this becomes a powerful message. If the squirrel is appearing in your life, it may be asking you to consider, what are you carrying between people, situation, or parts of your life? Because words, energy and attention don't just stay neutral, and everyone has their own perspective. So in modern life, this could be words getting twisted, which begins a conflict, getting pulled into tension that isn't yours, or repeating things that don't actually need to be repeated. The squirrel reminds you not to invite drama into your life unnecessarily, or a situation could backfire. Key message 4. Playfulness has purpose. Squirrels are often seen chasing, leaping and playing, and while it looks chaotic, it isn't meaningless. This behaviour builds agility, awareness and survival skills. In folklore, this gave the squirrel a lighter but still important symbolism. Joy and play are all part of nature's balance. If squirrel is your sign, it may be a reminder that not everything has to be serious to be valuable. Constant pressure isn't sustainable and you need to decompress. But also that lightness can actually improve how you move through life. In today's world, where productivity can seem like it's everything, this is easy to forget. So if the squirrel has been appearing in your life, whether physically, symbolically or repeatedly, take a moment to notice what's happening around you, because across traditions it has been a symbol of preparation, awareness and the movement of energy. The squirrel gathers with intention, it moves with purpose, and it understands that small actions build something larger over time. So maybe that's the message it brings to you. Look at where your energy is going, prepare for what's ahead, be mindful of what you carry forward, and don't forget the role of balance along the way. So until next time, like the squirrel in the trees, gather with purpose, move with awareness, and carry only what truly matters.